Welcome to Beyond the Stockroom, where we will be exploring the vast career opportunities that exist beyond the stockroom. What happens when a product is out of stock? That's where we come in.
All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Beyond the Stockroom. We are so excited to have Patrick Retzer join us today. He is a close colleague of Dillon and I's and actually the coin master, I'll say, of the term SWTA as it relates to Specialty Wholesale Talent Association. But I'll let him introduce a little bit more about himself and what he does currently and how he got into this industry. So, Patrick, take it away.
Hi, everyone. That is a breath of an intro. There's a lot to unpack and where I came from and how I got here. But how about I give you the Shakespeare's abridged version? Because I
Okay.
think it'll help people in a similar spot. So I started off as just like a clerk in retail in a multi-million-dollar store, got into their management program, moved across country, managed multiple high-end jewelry stores for a long time. Then I flipped over to the wholesale side, uprooted my entire family in Cincinnati, and moved to New York, where I started in the wholesale jewelry business, and which kind of led me into having gift reps and the gift channel, to being a rep, then to being a principal at a rep agency for a very long time, which is how we met,
Yep.
and then back into the product end. So now I'm currently the director of sales for a company called Streamline Imagined, which is a lot of whimsical, fun stuff. And that's kind of how I got here in a nutshell. I started this big in the industry, and now I'm this big.
I
Love
think
it.
you're our first guest that's been on the jewelry side and
Mhm.
somehow made your way gift. Some people would look at that and say, "Wow, you went backwards." Um, I don't know. I think gift is more fun, quite honestly.
Way more
But
fun.
when you were like these jewelry stores, were they like your chain jewelry stores, or were they more like local kind of mom and pop type jewelry stores?
One was a regional that I know you'll be familiar with, Shane and Company.
Oh, Shane and
Oh,
Co. That's where my
nice.
ring is from. Shout
So
out Shane and Co.
yeah, right. And that was they opened a flagship store in San Diego when I was living there. So I started there, worked my way up and back into Cincinnati for a couple of chain jewelers, and then flipped over to wholesale side. So yes, a little bit of both.
Nice.
I would call Shane Company like a regional chain,
Sure.
meaning
Yeah.
like if what, like 20 stores, 22 stores, something like that. So it's
Yeah.
not really super well known like a K or Jared or places like that. But yeah, it was kind of an independent model, I would say.
Interesting.
Yeah.
How was like what was the journey from working like retail in the jewelry store to like on the wholesale side? Did you just like express interest on how like the back end of the business worked, or were they just like, Patrick, you're not really great with people. Let's put you in the back of the house
Yeah,
and
that
let's,
definitely sounds like me, horrible with people. Uh, no, out of the blue, the owner of a wholesale manufacturing company in New York called me and said, "Hey, I'd like to hire you. I can't really hire you directly from the company, but if you're interested, let me know in the future." That's kind of how it happened. The reason he chose me or wanted me to come on board because the two stores I was running were the two highest grossing jewelry stores with his brand in it.
okay, that
So he
makes
was like,
sense.
"Hey, you really know what the heck you're doing. Why don't you uproot your entire family from Ohio and move to New York?" And that's just
Well,
kind of how it happened.
and New
It was
York's
not
pretty
me.
awesome.
It was not me seeking to do anything. It just kind of like I kept my nose down, just kept doing what I'm supposed to be doing, and the opportunity came to me, to be honest. It was all kind of kismet, as one says.
Yeah. Okay.
Nice.
Well, that's maybe a good takeaway for our listeners that are currently working in like a regional chain, so to speak. Put your nose to the grindstone, maybe go to a networking event, meet some people behind the scenes.
Just be curious.
Yeah,
That's it. Be
Stay
curious.
curious. Stay
I love that.
curious for
Dang.
sure.
Okay, so it was just the jewelry store that you started in, or what was the store that you were working in before that, before you went to jewelry?
Yeah, like anyone else, right? Like right out of college, I had a couple of jobs doing whatever, like cold calling, telephone sales, retail, you name it, I probably did it. I grew up in a restaurant
Okay.
situation. Like my mother ran a restaurant for 35 years. So like I grew up with that as my backing, like, and working for your parents, as some people on this call might know, can be very challenging.
It can be,
And they
yes.
work you harder than everyone else because they expect more of you.
Yep. This
So
Yeah.
is true.
Yeah.
I'll
The
leave
unwritten
that.
rules.
But it's
Yeah.
fun. It is fun.
Yeah. It is fun. But,
Yeah.
so I kind of grew up in the environment in the middle of nowhere, Ohio, where it's like you work and then you work some more and then you work some more. And I didn't really see myself staying there. I needed something bigger. So that's kind of why, I moved to San Diego, did a whole thing, came back to Cincinnati. It was really um, just about making choices, some of them wrong, and a lot of them happen to be right.
Yeah.
It was just luck of the draw, but you got to make decisions based on your gut, and you've got to make decisions that you think are going to help you in the long run. And let me tell you, they're not all, as you guys know, going to work out in the end. But the
Right.
fact of the matter is, you get back up and you do it again because you want something better, or you see a vision for yourself, or you do something that you're not comfortable doing, um, to really kind of expand your mindset.
Yeah. I love
You got to
that.
take risks.
Right.
Nice. So growing up in the restaurant, I think like that's recent conversations that Dylan and I have been kind of having is similarities between like working kind of in as a server in a high ticket more type restaurant and then maybe that translating over to being a sales rep. And with your restaurant background, what would you maybe say to that?
You have to enjoy service and you have to enjoy people.
Hmm.
And what I mean by that, like, obviously you're not going to like everyone. Everyone's not going to like you.
Yeah.
But I think there's some value in that everyone in the room brings something to the table, and finding that thing and highlighting that thing is what makes people great. And it's what makes us great as people in terms of being able to work with others, being able to find something, that they're really great at. Like I try to find people to surround myself in my business with people who are way smarter than me and way better than me. If I
Yeah.
don't know how to do it, I will find someone to do it. I will find the answer somewhere. It might not be me. I don't know the answers. Same kind of thing when you're starting out, maybe lower than you wanted to, or in a role that you didn't really see yourself doing, be curious and how do I help other people achieve their goals? That's always been my thing is like, I enjoy watching people succeed
Hmm.
because it means they're doing something right or they learn something. Or I've always enjoyed the teaching aspect of business and making people successful is I like that aha moment where they're like, oh yeah, yeah, that makes sense. Now I get it.
I love that.
Right. It's kind of the same thing becoming a sales rep. There are 99 wrong answers and one right one. You got to find the one right one. And
Right.
and every time you find the wrong one, you just keep smiling and going. Like if you don't have the answer, you don't know the information, don't lie to your customers. Just say,
Right.
listen, I don't know that answer. That's a great question. I'm going to find it for you. There's no more better value you can bring to someone than by knowing your limits and still being able to find answers for them.
And
Yeah.
not being afraid to just like
No,
also, I think, build trust on the fact that like you have an action item of I don't know, but I'll follow up with you and give you an answer versus just,
correct.
hey, I'll just come up with something right off the top of my head and
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
make it
The,
work. That would be a
typically the
lesson.
thing
That
right
would
off
be
the
one of
top.
those lessons.
Yeah,
Yeah.
typically the thing right off the top of your head is not the right
No,
thing. If you
no.
don't
Right.
know at least somewhat, if you don't know anything around the answer, don't even try. Just listen, I don't know. That's a great question. I'm going to write it down and I'm going to find the answer for you. Can you give me a day?
Yeah.
Like,
And there's
I
I
lots
think
don't
of
know.
that's so
like
great
that.
because I think it's so true with like a sales rep position. Like you can really like if you find passion in like what you said about like watching others, helping others achieve success and like growth and stuff, like the it's like a symbiotic relationship between a rep and like their retail stores and their buyers, right? Like if they're successful, you're successful, and it's such a great like rewarding, I think, like relationship to be in. So yeah, it's
Yeah,
cool.
for sure. Cool. Okay. Well, what does an average day for you look like, Patrick, in your role right now?
And you're director of sales at Streamline,
Is it
correct?
sort of
Correct.
similar to what a sales reps would look like, being that you're
Um,
director of sales? Obviously, the
Very
money
similar. I
part
just
taken
have
out.
just responsible for more people than myself, right? Like I have a team that I direct. I also manage 125 sales reps, that are work with different agencies or independently with us alongside us. So it's not just my internal team that I manage, it's also the people out on the road. And I come from that. I spent time as a sales rep, and I think it's really important to understand that sales repping is a really lonely job.
I can be. Yeah.
You're in the car by yourself most of
Yep.
the time, or you're seeing customers. You're not sitting in an office. You can't turn, hey, let's meet at the water cooler. I got something cool to tell you. Like that's not the job, right?
Right.
I feel like the number one thing you can do for yourself as a sales rep or getting into a sales rep, similar to some of the situation or the position I'm in now, is again, constantly be looking for the next thing, right? Who's the next person I can help? How can I just incrementally help my company just get one step above and one step above? But you have to be doing that for yourself as a sales rep, right?
Yeah.
Make friends with other sales reps that touch your territory, right? What's working for them is probably going to work for you, unless you're a sales rep in Alaska and you're asking somebody in Florida what's selling for them. Probably not going to be selling the same things, but you should have those conversations anyway.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
agree.
salespeople or sales reps in the same organization aren't competitors.
Hmm.
And
Right.
I would venture to say salespeople from other sales organizations in your same territory also aren't competitors.
I would agree.
You guys carry different lines,
Yeah.
right? Theoretically, each rep group has different lines and you overlap territories. Get to know the sales reps. That's the first thing I did when I became a rep was I got to know other sales reps from other agencies because I want to share information. I'm like, who's the buyer here? Have you had this experience here? Like I didn't know anyone. I was never a sales rep before.
Right.
The 90% of the first 18 months of the job is just remembering someone's name. But
Right.
you know what I'm
True.
saying? If you put it down to the most basic thing, it's like, listen, I have how many square miles to cover, and I've got to know all these buyers' names. Eventually you're going to get to know their kids' names or their birthdays or, milestones at the store, what year they
Yeah.
open, and you're going to bring those things to every experience you have as a sales rep. That's the best part about being a sales rep is that you get to continue this dialogue for years with customers. There are customers that when I started sales repping that I still see at trade shows today and they ask me about my kids and vice versa.
Oh,
And this was 15 years ago.
yeah.
So
Incredible.
Almost
it's
18
there.
right then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like
Graduating. Woohoo.
it's really like crazy to think that I know these people. Like if I walk into most stores in my county, someone probably knows me because I live in the territory that I manage. So
Nice.
it's hard to go in and shop a store because everyone wants to talk to you.
Yeah.
But B, it's kind of like a coming home, right? That's where you need to get it to as a sales rep. And I think like being a server or working in the service industry or anything of that nature, even if or especially if you're a service consultant at a car dealership, right? Look at the task at hand. You're dealing in, let's say on the low end, a car is 20 grand, right?
Hmm.
This is a very expensive purchase for someone, and they're bringing their car into service and they expect you to give them AAA class service, right? Five-star service every single time. It's the same thing as a sales rep. If
Yeah.
you can do that, you can do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It,
It's so interesting your point about, reps, even like within the own agency, but even outside of one organization, not truly being competitors. And it's kind of, I think, Delaney, what you and I touched on, and I think it might have been our episode with Terrence where we were talking about how, like, even at the rep group level, like markets don't exist because one company is in here and all buyers come here for that one company, right? I think, like from a sales rep position, you're competing for dollars, and certainly you have relatively similar lines. Like you may have a plush line and I might have a plush line, and you may win a sale with one customer and I may win a sale with another one. But
Hmm.
ultimately, I'm still going to have something that sells to them, and you're going to have something that sells to them. And your objective across both of you is to make sure they are successful.
right.
Right.
Because again, if they're successful, you're both happy. So,
Yep.
Correct. I used to tell when I go out into the field, people were like, I walk into a store and I'm like, oh my God, I can't sell you anything. There's nothing in my bag that I can sell you, but you know who you need to call? Maybe this rep
Yes.
rep carried
right.
much higher end goods. I'm like, the things I'm carrying are $4 and $5. That doesn't make sense for you. Like maybe a couple of things. You
Right.
should call Patty. She has these really great lines. Or, hey, do you know your rep for Vietri? Or do you know your rep for insert name here?
Yeah. And I
Um,
think all of this helps build trust with the customer for the relationship, even for you, regardless if you're selling them and gaining commission at that visit, it's going to help you in the long run. So,
I put it this way all the time. People are always like, oh, you're only as good as the last thing you sold. No, a sales rep is only as good as the last thing their store sold that you sold them.
hmm.
Think about it.
It's
Like I
true.
can sell anything. I
Yeah.
can talk you into buying anything, but that was never my goal, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to sell you things that you're not going to retail because then how does that make me look? That's why the
Yeah.
first time I go into a store, the first place I go is the clearance rack or the sale rack. Like what's on sale? What did they not sell? What things
I
should
love
I
that.
not pitch to them out of my bag? If there's a whole rack of Halloween decor, they're probably not buying Halloween because it's February,
True.
right? Like it's it didn't sell. Or shot glasses. I can't tell you how many, companies are pitching like little shot glasses with their name, cities' names on it. It might not be your store, but you try it sometimes, right? It's the
Right.
same level of risk that you and I take as agencies or vendors, but on the retail side, they take a lot of risk also. And sometimes that risk comes out on the clearance rack.
That's a
Yeah.
really good tidbit.
Know
I hadn't
your
thought of that.
audience. Do your
No,
research.
no, know your audience. I mean, listen, I'm not going to pitch 100% of the time, right? They're not going to take every single thing I talk about, but I'm also very mindful about what I show someone. I'm not
Yeah.
going to go through 76 lines with a customer because that's not advantageous of their time, right?
Right.
That's not a good thing for them. By line six, they're glazed over, like, what is happening? It's the
Yeah.
same thing. I'm going to relate it back to being a server, right? They always tell you the specials first, and the reason they're not on the menu is so you have to listen to them talk, and they do sound really great. Chances are, if they're only listening to the specials, they're going to want something on the special list. They're not even going to open the menu, right?
Yeah.
So it's the same kind of concept. Like if you can sell features and benefits of your latest, greatest, newest thing, then it's advantageous for you to do so. And
Yeah.
you might not sell that 76. Like we can do that later. We can do that in the next appointment. Let's set up another appointment 6 weeks from now and we'll go over the other things.
Yeah.
Right. So it's that same kind of concept of like taking your experience, right? How do you want to be treated when you go to a restaurant? How do you want to be treated if someone was trying to sell you product to retail in your store? It's the same thing,
Hmm.
just in a different format, right?
Yeah.
Everyone wants to be sold something. They want to know what the latest, greatest, best thing is, but they don't have 6 hours to do it in with you, and they don't they don't want you just to tell them the features and benefits of every single product in the line. Be
Right.
Right.
specific. You're going to lose trust otherwise.
Yeah. Well, that's good. I think we started this on like the sales rep job could be lonely, but we talked about a lot of ways that it can not be lonely if you
Yes,
form great relationships with your buyers and then also take into account
Network.
all of your networking opportunities with other sales reps in the field. So I think all
yeah,
around
every
that should make it a better position.
listen, there's a lot of lonely time, and I mean that because there's a lot of windshield time, especially in
Yeah.
certain territories, right? Make a phone call. Call a store that you haven't been able to get to. Be like, hey, I'm on the road. I can't come today, but when's a good time for us to meet? Make a few phone calls. Pull over to the side of the road if you need to. Do take some breaks to make some touch points with customers, or
Yeah.
even better, stop into a store that you think you have no business selling anything in. You
Yeah.
never
You
know.
never
You
know. You
never
never
know.
know.
I think
If it,
another key point I'm taking away that also might resonate with our listeners, the at least like a younger generation, and part of why we started this whole mission in a way is I think us all on this call thrive off of like collaboration and really networking and talking to people. And like you mentioned, Patrick, like if I don't know the answer, I'm gonna go find somebody that knows the answer and working with all of our resources. And I think if you like listeners that are listening who want to collaborate all the time, every single day, maybe you're already on like social media, collaborating with other content creators, and you also are passionate about sales. Like this industry is full of just collaboration and putting your skills out there to be useful to somebody. So I think
listen, every sales job
worth it.
is about relationships.
Yeah.
That's it. If you're a great relationship builder, if you're a good listener and you can ask questions and really listen to the answers, you could be very, very successful in this job. It doesn't take a great salesperson. I'm not the best salesperson.
Yeah.
I'm not because I say no more than I say yes a lot to customers, right? Like I tell them, no, you should not buy that because I'm looking out for their
Well, the
margin.
resale. Yeah, and the resale
Yeah,
that we were
well,
talking
you're not
about.
going to sell it. Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
great thing, but can you sell this tchotchke for $20?
Yeah.
If you have to buy 12 of something and they're $20 retail, could you call six people right now that would buy it? Because if you can't,
You're not making your money back on
you,
it.
you you probably shouldn't carry it in your store.
Yeah.
those are the
Really well.
decisions, that you have to be willing to have with your customer. And if you're, again, a server, an office worker, you're working in a car dealership, you're working in, a bank teller, literally almost any job can transition into a sales rep if you're really passionate about people and you're passionate about
Yeah.
helping other people make decisions about their business. I mean, it's really that simple. If you can
Yeah.
I
sell a
think
mortgage, if you can sell a mortgage to someone, you could surely do this. This is way easier and way less paperwork.
I was gonna say, and way less dollars.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Well,
yeah,
it
yeah,
all adds up. Isn't that what we
it
say? It
does.
all
It
adds
does all
up.
add up. It does all add up at the end, but it's not the one single. Like I think with car sales people, right? Like your statement earlier about like how reps aren't competitors per se. You know, I don't. It's tough when you're looking at like car sales, right? Because you don't have somebody that's going to go. Okay, they stopped at Nissan and they worked with you and they're debating between buying this car or something from Subaru or Honda or something like. When they buy it, they're probably done. They're not coming back and they're like, oh, you know
Yeah.
what? I'll also take the Nissan while you're at it. So it's a little tough. But
Obviously,
there's
we're in
also
different circles, Dylan, because that happens every day.
does it?
Yeah.
Wow. Well,
Yeah, I'll
I
take a
hope
I'll take a Toyota. You know what? Give me a side of Nissan.
take a
He's
Nissan on the side.
living in
Yeah.
New York over
While
here,
you're in
high
it,
rolling.
throw in a Harley. Throw in a
Yeah.
Harley for dessert, please. Thank you.
Yeah. I didn't tell you that was a 1985 Toyota Tercel.
There you go. There
It's
you go.
it's
We didn't get into the specifics.
yeah, we didn't get into
Yes.
specifics.
Correct. Yeah, you're correct.
It
Um,
may or may not drive. That's
that's true. That's true. It could be a
The
brick
risk
or a lemon.
we're willing to take.
But I think it's like to your point about like any job can translate into this. And I think like if you enjoy the people side of it, like if you enjoy cars because you love cars and you've always wanted to work at whatever dealership because you just love it and you live by it, that's probably your bread and butter. But if you are just working there because you like the aspect of sales and you like the relationships and you like to like get to know your customers, like this is easily translatable and maybe sometimes more rewarding, but
no one wakes up and says, "Gosh, I can't wait to be a gift sales rep."
no.
Not
But
yet.
nobody wakes up
Not
and
yet.
says, you know what? What is a gift sales rep? Nobody even knows what a gift sales
A
rep
Not
little
is.
bit of
yet.
everything.
Yeah.
It's customer service, it's sales, it's travel, it's
Yeah.
merchandising. It is literally everything, and it's fun.
Yeah. It does a
This
lot.
I just wanted to call out one thing. Patrick said a term that I think people know, but just in case, Patrick, you said windshield time, and all he's referring to is just as a road rep, your job is oftentimes driving, so you're just
Yeah.
staring at your windshield as
Yeah.
you're driving.
Yeah, you're staring through your windshield looking for the next victim. I mean customer.
The next victim. And then you get to consume a lot of content like this podcast or
Yes.
Rooted in
Yes.
Retail or
It's a
any
great
of
it's
the
a great
other
time to listen to podcasts.
yeah.
So
The
I
Patrick,
do
sales,
I
not
gotta
hybrid
suggest
sales
watching
agreement.
them when you're driving. Just
Yeah, don't
no,
watch
not
a
watching.
disclaimer out
Yeah,
there.
just
Yeah.
listening, just listening. Audio only.
Love it.
Patrick, I do have a question for you because you have such a unique, you've been on like the retail side, maybe not in a gift store, but you've been on the retail side. You've been as a rep, you've been kind of like an admin of an agency, and now you're also like in a director of sales type role, sales manager esque role. What out of your experiences on this side of the business, what has been the most challenging?
That's a great question. Um, I think I think the hardest challenge in this side of the business is making a no constructive. You tend to take a lot of this personally because if you're a sales rep, you're working for yourself, right? Or an agency, and that windshield time adds up and all these things are on you, and you can get a little anxious about it. But hearing a no gets personal sometimes, especially if you're not, sometimes you wake up in not a great mood and you're like, gosh, I can't do that. There's not a lot of those moments if you do it right, but you will hear no. And some people have a really hard time. They think no means forever no, or get out of my store, or I don't want to talk to you, when really it's a buying signal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then
It's
would you
it
say, sorry,
Go
would you
ahead.
say that the sales rep is the biggest challenge, like the most challenging position you've held, or is this
Yeah.
no
I
translatable
think I think
across?
being a sales rep is the most challenging position, and it's not because the work is hard. It's because you're managing so many aspects of so many other people's businesses.
Yeah.
Being a sales rep managing your own business is one thing. That's what you do when you're at home at 11 p.m. trying to balance your checkbook or making sure you have all your receipts. Being a sales rep, a gift sales rep in this industry is managing other people's businesses. Truthfully, like if you walk into
Yeah.
your best customer, your top five customers, you know where everything is in that store. You know their kids' names, you know when their birthday is, you know when the next ladies' night is, you know all these things because you make it important to your business because they support a big chunk of your business. So you, in fact, the sales reps that come into that store, and I hear it all the time, you can ask any of the top sales rep around the country, you're doing the merchandising sometimes. You're making the buying decisions sometimes. How many times do you have sales reps that have been doing this for a while or that are just have some really great customers where they're like, okay, I like that line. Just write the order for me. Here's a thousand
Yeah.
dollars. Tell me what I should buy. That's your goal as a
Yeah.
sales rep is to get to
Right.
that point. Not because we make amazing decisions all the time, 100% of the time, because you know the business enough and they trust you enough for them to give you dollars to spend
Yeah.
in a meaningful way. They know you're going to lead them in the right direction. And that all happens based on relationship building. Has nothing to do with the catalog you're holding, has nothing to do with the brand you're holding. And I don't mean that, because I run a brand, like my brand is special. Everything's great about it. But but it's because they trust you.
Yeah.
How many times you know it from running a sales agency. You have sales reps that have been doing this for a long time, and they can just call up a customer and be like, "Hey, we got this new line. I think you should try it. I would suggest $450 to get you started. Do you want me to write up an order for you and send it over for you to be approved?"
Yes, please.
Right.
Yeah.
How many
Yeah.
times? Because they trust you. Like you
Yeah.
wouldn't pitch them something at this point in your career that wouldn't work for their store. So
Yeah.
really the challenge about being a sales rep to kind of go back is you're running everyone else's business while simultaneously running your own and keeping your own goals and your own pocket and your own funnel filled with sales for future months, right? So
Yep.
not only you're doing all that for yourself, you're also helping other stores make these decisions,
Yeah.
and that can sometimes be brutal on the brain.
And then
Yeah.
sometimes I think it even translates over to the reps, even helping the vendors run
Hmm.
their businesses in a way, because they're the ones that are kind of finding all the errors in product files and this isn't working how I should be able to write it based off what you said on the training and all of those sort of things, which is where
Listen, I
agency
had
admin comes in so that we can take some of that off their plate.
I had Evelyn, who works in my office alongside me. She's in my sales department, who is at the Dallas show right now today.
Nice.
She texted me today and said, I have no idea what this item is. Can you get me a SKU number, a UPC? How many do we have to sell? What's the name of it? So like even I make those kind of mistakes sometimes. It
Yeah.
wasn't in market time anywhere. I had no idea it wasn't in market time because you don't know what you
Yeah.
don't know,
We're all
right?
human,
Like
so.
it's a community and you rely on people to give you feedback and those types of things.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But don't take it personally, like you said at the
No,
beginning.
it's all
Don't take the
business.
no's personally. The no's are part of the growth.
Yeah. Yeah.
Showing up is what will build the continued relationship.
The rep who shows up the most ultimately wins in the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Love
along
that.
those lines, Patrick, with your experience, what is like for anybody listening, let's say anybody that's like, you know what, I want a career change and I want to come in and I want to be this road warrior. I want to go do this. What like if you as the Patrick you are today could give your younger Patrick, your sales rep Patrick, one piece of advice, what would be the piece of advice you're giving these new road warriors?
Not really one piece of advice. Can I give you a couple pieces of advice?
Sure.
Sure, sure.
Get out.
Top three.
Number one.
Number one, get out of your own way.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Love it.
good
I
one.
agree.
Listen, just open your ears and listen. Get out of your own way. You don't have all the answers. You'll never have all the answers. You could be a sales rep for 40 years. You're never going to have all the answers.
Yeah.
Listen to your customers, right? Like get out of your own. Yes, we're all great at what we do, but you need to be a better listener than a talker.
Love. Okay.
Number two, be organized. You have to be organized. If you can't be organized, hire an assistant.
Nice.
Have an accounting company do your paperwork for you. If you're not good at those things, the financials of your business, hire someone to do it. It's worth its weight in gold.
Mhm.
rather than you making the mistakes and finding out later that you did it all wrong and now you owe all this money to the government or whatever it is. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
I'm way off. Like I only instead of $100,000 in sales, I had $50,000 in sales this month. Like, you need to know those things. If you're not good at it, hire somebody or there's an app for that, right? There's a
Hmm.
million programs for it.
Yeah.
QuickBooks, quick shout out to QuickBooks. It helps a lot of sales reps because it keeps you organized.
Nice.
And number three, I would definitely say keep an open mind um, to what this wholesale gift world has in store for you. One day you could be a sales rep, the next day you could be running a multi-million dollar agency to a multi-million dollar individual brand. You never know where it's going to take you. The one downside of this industry is not a lot of people know about it.
Yep.
But also the upside to this industry is it's very broad categorically, and you can do anything, any job that you can have out in the real world
Right.
can be had here in the gift industry. It's just an unknown business. Most
Yeah.
clerks in a store don't know how the products get to the shelf. That's what
Right.
we do, right? Like they don't know how all this happens.
Yep.
So there's a lot to do. You want to be a buyer? Great. You can be in procurement. You can be in um, product development. You can be in
Retail buying.
supply chain, retail marketing. You
Yep.
could literally the options are limitless in this business
It's true.
if you want to work.
If you want to work, keyword.
It's
Absolutely.
last piece of information. This job is not linear.
True.
It's not a 9 to 5.
No.
It's a web.
It's a it's it's a 6 a.m. to 5 p.m. some days. It's a 12 noon to 3 p.m. some days. It's not linear. If you're expecting a 9 to 5 Monday through Friday, stores aren't going to call me after hours. You're wrong.
Yeah, this is true.
You also keep your own boundaries, but set your own boundaries up. But it's not a linear job. It's never
No.
from A to B. There's A point one, point two, point three, point four, point five.
Yeah.
Like then
Even
B.
growth
Yeah,
in the
it's
industry isn't linear.
yes.
So, yeah.
Correct. It's not linear at all. So you can't come in thinking, here's the steps for me to get here. It's
Right.
never that way. I've been on all sides of this business, as you guys have also been on different sides of this business.
Mhm.
It's never, sometimes it's a step to the right or a step to the left. It's sometimes not a step up. Sometimes it's a step back, but it's in
Yeah.
a different way. So if you're truly curious and you want to make a really great future for yourself, this is a cool industry to do it in, and there's limitless opportunities.
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
that. For our listeners, it's just some context on the non-linear portion. For example, I am getting ready to leave my normal desk job to travel to Las Vegas to set up our 13,000 square foot showroom for an entire month. So now I will be physically working in a showroom, probably 12-hour days until the end of July. So, woohoo. And then I get to go back to my kind of normal-ish 9 to 5. But yes, I have
Yep.
different time zones of reps that I'm working with. Same with Patrick. So yeah, you could have people calling you at all different times of day.
Yep. And just to give context on the technology side, I'm currently in Dallas for the Dallas trade show, and I don't know that it's 12-hour days, but it's not a linear, I don't wake up at my hotel room at 8, get here by 9 and work till 5 and then go because market has scheduled dates, times of start to close, but as we all know, show doesn't end until the last buyer's out of the building. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then you
Yeah.
get to network later after market hours,
Right. Then there's those
which
events.
are what we all
Never.
live for.
Yeah. Yeah.
Love it.
Just
Well,
just
cool,
a little
Patrick.
respite at the end of the day, right? That's it. Just a
Yeah.
Exactly.
little.
Yeah.
Yes. Um,
Absolutely.
with all your experience on the many sides, what do you see the future of this industry looking like in the next 5 to 10 years?
Um, I don't, to be honest with you, I don't think it's going to change a whole heck of a lot.
Okay.
And I mean that in the best way possible.
Yeah,
Like
no, I'm here for it. We've gone
some
through
tech,
way too much change.
some technology is going to change, some products going to change, some reps are going to change, some companies are going to merge or go under. And it's cyclical, right? So this business will continue to grow at the pace that it's growing. We've been through the throes of COVID. We've been through recessions. We've been through everything. The part, again, it comes all the way back to is the people. The people that are on the screen, the people that are behind the scenes, the people in the warehouses. These are all the people that keep the industry flowing. And I have a feeling that those people, still want to work. and do
Yeah,
their job, and we'll figure out a way. We're pretty resilient.
we
It's
are.
gonna the future is definitely going to favor the bold
Yeah. What do you
for
think
sure.
more on like the retail side? Like, because I feel like that has been at least a talking point on my like the agency side about we recently just sponsored a 5K nested, and it's our first time ever doing something like that, so we had to come up with like an activity for people to do, and so I created like a love local wall for people to write their favorite local business on, and then I kind of exposed them to like what it is we all do, and I had like different products on the table, and we played like a this or that game. And then because they were all samples, I just gave them away as prizes. Um, but what I noticed after our Love Local wall was written on is that it was a lot of restaurants, bars, bookstores, which can be our customers, but they aren't the core retailer we're about. So then I was like, what is it about consumers not maybe knowing the names of like the gift stores that they're shopping in that are local? So I guess with that anecdote, what would you say? Like, how is local retail doing in the next 5 to 10?
Um, Again, it'll favor the bold, right? Even the people we said this or I said this earlier, the people on your street are not your competitors. You might carry similar products. Chances are you guys, if you're responsible buyers, you're probably not carrying the exact same things in your stores. And I know there's going to be overlap. The business community survives because you're vocal, you talk to each other, you go to business association meetings, you go to chamber of commerce meetings, right? Everyone wants to continue to keep the doors open. The way you do that is being part of your community and not isolating yourself.
Yeah,
It's the same as a sales rep. You can't isolate yourself to the point where no one even knows who you are, right? How are people going to walk into your store if you're a retailer if you constantly are not talking to people?
right.
Walk into your local restaurant and say, "Hey, I'm Patrick. I own Patrick's gift store right down the street. How can we work together? When's your busiest times? When should I be open?" I've been talking about this since I've been blue in the since till I'm blue in the face since I started as a rep. If your town is known for its dinner time restaurants, why do you close at 5?
I experienced this in
Right.
Fort Collins working
And
in retail. Yeah,
but listen, everyone tells me the same thing. Oh, well, they don't come in because it can't be one store.
Right.
yeah,
It has to be everyone coming together and say, maybe there's one night a week. Maybe it's Fridays we're open late because there's a huge bar scene or
yeah.
a restaurant scene there, or the town is super walkable.
Hmm.
People don't want to walk by stores that are dark.
Yeah,
Or like
Open your doors
combine like
one
merge
day.
like link up with your like local bar, like if it's a bar scene, right? Link up with your local bar and maybe like get a like some kind of drink ticket thing where like people can come in and do some activity in your store and they can get a drink ticket from you. Like if
oh,
it's
that's a
like a
cool idea.
college town or something, right? But that gets engagement in your store and then they've been in your store. And again, I think like if you do something to make your store kind of, not just drab
Yeah,
and kind of boring,
Mhm.
right? Then it catches the eye and people would come back.
yeah.
So
Do you know how much it costs to print a 3x5 postcard, full color aqueous coating on both sides?
75 cents.
About 6 cents.
Oh, way cheaper than
Part
I even
You
get.
take one side, the restaurant will take the other,
There
and
we
say, "Hey,
go.
can I put these in your check folios?" Every customer gets one. On on your side, it says, bring in this card for 10% off at Patrick's gift store. In my store, every time I put one in a bag where someone goes out, on that side, it says free appetizer from Jim's Steakhouse, whatever it is, whatever you
Yeah,
guys can agree on, and say, "Listen, I'll even pay for the cards. I'll print 10,000 cards, which is what, $600.
see
yeah.
600 bucks. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
You've spent dumber marketing dollars on things
yeah,
that didn't
this is
work.
true. I
I'm
love
just
that
saying,
idea.
you try it. Just
Yeah,
try new things. Partner with other businesses. You're not alone.
yeah.
And this even comes down to, like you were talking about earlier, like there's a bar on the sign to the thing. There's a restaurant. There's a tattoo parlor. There's like, how do I work with all these people? Also, people work at those places.
Hmm.
Have an industry night. If the town is filled with restaurants, maybe the restaurants are closed on Sundays or Mondays. Have an industry day all day Monday, and you take them over to the businesses. Hey, everyone who works here, 10% off at the store on Monday. I know you're closed, so I know you're not going to be at work. And two, I'm right down the street. You get 10%
Yeah.
off anything or free whatever or free grab bag or, you know, be creative.
Yeah.
How do you want to be treated in your store? There's a whole community of people working in your community. How do you get those people to come in? Because then if they have a great experience, they're going to tell someone else. It's
Yep.
all about the
Absolutely.
experience.
We need to
Absolutely.
generate that word of mouth because word of mouth is also still this number one marketing tactic around. So
Right.
love
I mean,
it.
it's true. The
Okay.
sad part is if someone has a bad experience, they're going to tell it to 10 people. If
Right.
someone has a great experience, they're going to tell it to one.
Yeah.
So
Right.
that's just always going to happen, right? That's human nature. But let's do more positives than negatives.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. I like that
Absolutely.
take, but it won't change that much. We just gotta all come together
Just
I
do
just like
one,
that's what
just
we
like
do
the
do.
one
sense of
more better
community.
thing today. Do one more better thing today. Do
Yeah.
one more thing. It's
Yeah.
always
Love
about
that.
one, just one little thing.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. That's
Awesome.
I just like the message of community. That's something we've been talking a lot about lately. And it's like we are all a community, right? Like we're not all one business by any stretch of the imagination, but we're all one like ecosystem
Mhm.
that all thrive when the ecosystem is thriving.
And if
So
you're not in a tourist town or there's not some attraction in your town, it's a pretty safe bet how many people could possibly shop in your town.
Mhm.
Know that information, know that data, get those reports. Go US Postal Service has a lot of like tools you can mess around in. Like if you want to do a mass mailing to your town, you can figure out demographics and who to send it to. Like that little postcard I told you about, maybe direct mail works for you because you're in a small town. Send a postcard. 10% off when you bring this postcard in. Who cares?
Yeah.
It's worth its weight in gold. Typically, print marketing or direct mail marketing only has about a 3% return, but it's 3% more than you had. And it's for six, let's say how many postcards I say 10,000 postcards for
Yeah.
$600 plus
yeah.
the stamp. You got to remember plus the stamp.
Yeah, that's
So, or plus the postage. So, and if you have a small enough postcard, it's usually a cheaper postage when you do bulk mail. So, and especially when you take advantage of the USPS, I think it's the Advantage program or marketing bulk mail marketing program where they just drop it off at every house,
nice.
which you choose. By the way, you can choose who gets it and who doesn't. You know, those little things can really help your business. And chances are people hearing this, if they're run a business, they probably already know this information, but
Yeah.
if maybe you're part of a business and they don't know it.
Yeah. That's what I was about to say as listeners maybe working in an independent retail store right now. This would be a good way for you to maybe stand out to your boss or buyer because here's a good idea to drive some traffic.
Yeah.
And you got
Absolutely.
it from the backside of the industry who's here to support all of our retailers. So nice.
They got it from these three pillars of success.
Yes. Love. Um, so cool. At Streamline, what is it that you guys kind of sell? Start with
Whimsical fun stuff. The name of the game right now is Squish. We have a ton of Squish product. We're one of the few in the country that can actually deliver
nice.
and provide squish, but a lot of fun, whimsical, unexpected things like a kitty cat cookie jar. We call it the fat cat cookie jar because he's like sitting back and you pull the top off and it's his belly and you take cookies out of his belly. Like
Nice.
just weird, fun things. You know, you can check us out, streamlinenyc.com. That's the wholesale site. But
Awesome.
it's a lot of weird, whimsical things, a lot of value, a lot of impulse items, like some stationery, lip balms, like fun stuff that, you know, that kids want to grab off the shelf.
Yeah.
What's your favorite item that you sell?
I don't know if I can explain it on this show.
They do have
Um,
some
It's
not safe for
probably
work items in
it's
their
probably one of those
category.
things that you sell to earlier you mentioned like you got to think outside the box for like who your customer is. I'm
yep.
going to just take a wild guess here. This customer that probably carries this product is one that could be associated with a plant. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Or, you know, places like a waterbed store. You know, those don't exist anymore, but if you're of a certain age, they carry a lot of eclectic merchandise.
Indeed, they do. Love it.
A lot of plant-based merchandise.
And Patrick's like Streamline is not the only brand in the industry that has merchandise like this.
No.
But
So
it's not for every customer, and we have a very little bit of it in our catalog. You can see it on the website too, but it's not a large part of our business. But again, it captures an audience we might not have had before.
yeah,
Right. Right.
yeah,
Get you in the door at stores that are maybe the unconventional customer.
exactly.
Right.
Whereas if you didn't have it, you probably wouldn't have been able to get in the door.
Correct. Like all those people you said were signing the thing, where like these are
Yeah,
restaurants,
yeah,
these are not our normal customers. Find a product that fits those customers. Put
exactly.
something in your store that they're going to resonate with. Like If you have 1,000 bartenders in your town because you have a lot of bars, put some product in your store that's bar related that they'll think is funny and whimsical, or like something tongue in cheek, or something they can gift to each other that they'll appreciate.
Yeah.
Maybe
Right.
they're not a bartender, maybe they're a mixologist. Maybe they love what they do and they can find them a cool gift.
Yeah. Love that. I've been thinking that maybe as an industry as a whole, we should start publishing a like the art of gift giving. And I kind of talk exactly about what you just mentioned, Patrick, is like we need to all just identify the kind of subcategories of people that would be interested in the categories that we all have. And then like write up a thing like, yes, this would make the perfect gift for this person. Have like a little shelf talker about it. And it's all things we could provide to the retailers. But
You should do it.
Man,
I
that's
know we
genius
will someday.
because yeah, how many people are just the gift giver where it's like,
Yeah,
let's just get a gift card.
Here's the
right.
gift
I think
card.
people are just uninspired, and part of our job, maybe as an industry as a whole, would be to help inspire the
Well, I mean,
consumer.
listen, if you've been in stores many times before, there are some stores who do this really well.
Yes, this is true.
like like bookstores who pair, like if there's a bar recipe book, they pair it with bar gadgets, or they pair it with certain things in their store. They're cross merchandising with other departments of their store. That's just one way to do it. But
Mhm.
if you have that creative mind and you have that kind of draw to do those things, it's exactly what a sales rep does,
Yep.
right? So if you're in a store and you're doing that kind of work, this could also be a transition point for you. You're like, oh, I don't know if I could do that. Yeah, I work with customers. Not to get us, that was not planned, by the way. I didn't plan to go full circle like that, but here we are. We're back at the top.
Yeah.
You could easily be a sales rep if that's the way you think, and
Yeah.
it's those little things. Like we didn't talk about this. We didn't talk about this ahead of the call, but here
Oh,
we are. Like those stores that do that really well are successful because they have people that think like that, and they have
mhm.
sales reps that think like that,
Yeah.
and they have every part of their business is helping them achieve these goals. Like Delaney said, how do we get gifts set up for those customers? That's how.
Hmm.
Just a
Love it.
little idea,
Yeah.
Yeah.
sharing
I
it with your community.
we Delaney and I, man, this was probably 2 years ago, Delaney, but it reminds me of our conversation we had with that retailer that owns I think she owns two stores in Beverly Hills.
Yeah.
One or two stores.
Best gift store ever.
Best gift store ever, yeah. But like
Yeah.
it's really all about like that experience, right?
Hmm.
And I think like their staff is trained to basically help like curate a
Yeah.
gift, right? And
Yeah.
then they also offer wrapping and they offer like this during the holidays and stuff. So they make it like special, but they
Yeah.
also kind of go outside the box of just like, behind the counter. Let me know if you need anything.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
And
thank
with
you. We'll do.
yeah, and with like my generation being so experience driven, like that's definitely what gift stores should try to
Step out
look
from behind the
toward.
counter.
Yeah.
Point a couple things out. You don't have to be all over people, but just,
No.
oh my gosh, check out this new thing. We just got this in. What do you think?
Right.
Ask them for their opinion on something. Say, listen, this might not be for you, but what do you think?
Yeah.
I think that goes back to
Gathering some
your
data.
advice, Patrick, your first one. Get out of your own way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So get out from behind the counter and
Yeah.
make yourself more presentable to the
Yeah.
to the consumers. Yeah.
And as our listeners could probably tell from this little aside convo as well, is creative and marketing jobs galore up in this world.
Hmm.
So if that is up your alley and you like to think kind of how we were just talking, jump in, please. Um, Patrick, at Streamline, are there any specific roles that maybe turn over faster, or you always have a hard time like trying to fill, or do you have any openings right now for our listeners to kind of know about?
Not really.
Okay.
Great creative people are hard to find. And by creative, I mean like package design, product development. It's not that they're hard to find. They just don't move a lot because they're usually really good at what they do and their companies don't want to lose them. Like we had
Yeah.
someone retire from one of those positions and we had a little bit of a hard time filling it. It's filled now,
Yeah.
but literally anything you want to do in this business can be found. And
Yeah.
hopefully Swata will help
Yeah.
do that.
Let's go. Woohoo. So you're not at Dallas right now, but Dallas is going on. We will luckily get to see you in Las Vegas. But in one sentence, how would you describe show or markets?
Chaos.
One word, not even a sentence. Let's go.
Chaos.
Chaos.
Oh,
So from your
In the
perspective,
best
why
way,
is
in the best way,
chaos?
and the worst way. What I mean by that, to clarify for your
Yeah.
listeners,
Go ahead.
chaos means It's a lot, right? Imagine you're a sales rep on the road going to all these stores, but now all the stores have turned around and are coming to you. So there's 1,000 of them and one of you, where when you're on the road, there's one of you or 1,000 of you and one of them. So everyone's coming to you for what's new, what's hot. I got to show you around. It's just by chaos. I mean, it's a lot. And from the beginning of our conversation, if you can stay organized, you will fare very well
Yeah.
Well
and get
said.
out of your own way.
Well,
Just write the
get out of
orders
your-
and ask questions later.
I
Well
get what
said.
you're saying. It's the mindset of like, I'm in one space in the showroom, like you're obviously in your brand section, but like from my perspective, I'm in one space of the showroom talking to this person and they have little anecdotes I need to write down to dos for like post show. So I'm taking notes and then I go over to somebody else and then a rep interrupts me and they're needing some tech support and then I have to get my tech people involved. So it's a longer process. So then I have to drop everything I'm doing and go work on that tech thing. But then I had to remember, oh, I needed to run this report for that vendor over there. And that was 2 hours ago.
And
Right.
then as she's going to run the report over the intercom, they say, we need any available order taker to the front desk, please, because, they're just so busy that,
Yeah,
yeah, all the reps are busy. So,
It's the old adage, if you don't have an assistant, you are the assistant.
this is
yep.
true. Yeah.
You have to do it all.
Luckily, there are more people in our showroom now. So
Are you hiring an assistant, Delaney?
not,
I'll
well,
come be
I
your
kind of
assistant.
have an assistant now.
All right.
Yes. Yeah. So Miss Ellie, she might be a podcast guest in the coming weeks.
Oh,
And
good.
yeah,
Yeah.
we found her on my mom's doorstep. And our listeners are probably going to think that's the weirdest thing to say ever. So now she'll have to be a guest to just explain that little anecdote.
Right.
But yeah. All
Little
right.
nugget.
Chaos.
Yeah.
How chaotic is it in Dallas right now, Dylan? I think it's pre-show day, right?
Well, it's a VIB day, very important buyer day.
Yeah.
But honestly, I landed, got to the hotel right before I had basically had an hour from when I actually got in the building to this. So I couldn't really tell you. Gonna
Yeah.
go see what's going on after
Okay.
this. But yeah,
Nice.
yeah. It's
Okay.
hot.
Well,
I can tell you that. It's hot.
yeah, I have loved this conversation with you, Patrick. You have so many
You. Me
insights
too.
about all of the different things. So we'll
So
wrap it up.
6 months from now, let's do the same thing and see if my answers are the same.
Okay, yeah, let's do it.
Right?
Put it on the
Patrick,
My
calendar.
hair, my
complete.
hair will be all
January.
like this. Like, this is a heck of a
Yeah.
year.
6 months from now will be the middle of January or
Yeah, yeah,
Right.
middle near the end of December. We're going
yeah.
into January.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, for
Okay.
Officially
Delaney, it is the
January.
middle of January, December, because she's out at another showroom setting more stuff up.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. But
but
yes,
this was great. Thank you.
yeah, we'll wrap with our favorite question. What is your favorite part about working in this industry?
Meeting cool people like you. And no, again, that wasn't prompted. I'm not getting paid for this sponsorship. We've known each other for a long time,
Yeah.
but honestly, it's the people. It never ceases to amaze me what I learn when I go to a show or like the Gift and Home Trade Association conference or GSMA. I'm not a member, but I hear really great things from it. Like the
Yeah.
amount of knowledge that this industry has and is willing to share is astounding. And it comes down to the people. Like the people willing to share that info have really pushed this business forward.
Yeah. I love that. Me
Well
too.
said. Well
We're so
said.
glad to have met you. And thank you for
Yay!
joining us on today's episode. We'll
Woo!
see you in Vegas. I can't
Yes,
wait.
I'll
See you in
see you
Vegas.
in a month.
Curious about any of the opportunities discussed in this episode? Be sure to check out the industry job board at wholesaletalent.com. And thanks for listening to Beyond the Stockroom.